Shalom, peace be unto you, for the kingdom of heaven has come near unto thee. I am your fellow servant, a disciple of Jesus Christ, a servant, a slave, a disciple, an adopted heir. I wanted to read today Ecclesiastes chapter 5, talk a little, see if see if there's a little bit of time here in the day. Chapter 5. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of God, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with thy mouth, and let thy heart be hasty to hear any, and let not thy heart be hasty to utter anything before God, for God is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore let thy words be few. For a dream cometh through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by a multitude of words. When thou vowest a vow unto God, defer not to pay it, for he hath no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed. Better is it that thou shouldest not vow than thou shouldest vow and not pay. Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin. Neither say thou before the angel that it was an error. Wherefore should God be angry at thy voice, and destroy the work of thy hands? For in the multitude of dreams and many words there are also divers vanities. But fear thou God. If thou seest the oppression of the poor, and violent perverting of judgment, and justice in the province, marvel not at the matter. For he that is higher than the highest regardeth, and there be higher than they. If thou seest the oppression of the poor, and violent perverting of judgment and justice in a province, marvel not at the matter, for he that is higher than the highest regardeth, and there be higher than they. Moreover, the profit of the earth is for all. King himself is served by the field. He that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver, nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This is also vanity. When goods increase, they are increased that eat them. And what good is there to the owners thereof, saving the beholding of them with their eyes? The sleep of a laboring man is sweet, whether he eat little or much, but the abundance of the rich will not suffer him to sleep. There is a sore evil which I have seen under the sun, namely, riches kept for the owners thereof to their hurt. But those riches perish by evil travail, and he begetteth a son, and there is nothing in his hand. As he came forth of his mother's womb, naked shall he return, to go as he came, and shall take nothing of his labor, which he may carrieth away in his hand. And this also is a sore evil, that in all points as he came, so shall he goeth. And what profit hath he that hath labored for the wind? All his days also he eateth in darkness, and he hath much sorrow and wrath with his sickness. Behold, that which I have seen, it is good and comely for one to eat and to drink, and to enjoy the good of all his labor, that he taketh under the sun all the days of his life, for God giveth him, for it is his portion. Every man also to whom God hath given riches and wealth, and hath given him power to eat thereof, and to take his portion, and to rejoice in his labor, this is the gift of God. For he shall not much remember the days of his life, because God answereth him in the joy of his heart. Vanity of riches. Very interesting. I'm watching for the Lord. I hope you're watching for the Lord. Today is preparation day. You prepare your meals for tomorrow, today. So the sixth day, excuse me. Sabbath starts at sundown. Where I'm in on planet Earth, we have another 4.5, 5 hours of light before the Sabbath starts. But but looking forward to the Sabbath is a picture of the pattern of things happening in the heavenlies. There was somebody the other day who said, "Oh, you could pick any seventh day and keep that, count 6 days, and then keep the seventh." And I had to disagree with the individual because Israel, the people, the land, and the book of Israel, they all keep saying that the Sabbath day is sundown Friday night to sundown Saturday night. That's officially when it's kept. So the pattern and the cycle of things are important. You want to have an accurate picture of prophecy, and the Sabbath day is a complete rest. There's no work to be done on it. You're not to kindle a fire. You're to gather together. And so this next 1,000 years coming is the seventh day, the Sabbath rest, a paradigm shift. We're going to be living in the spirit, dressed in light. We're going to be receive our glorified bodies. And so the labor like that goes on here on the earth, it's a paradigm shift. You're not going to have to work. You're an eternal being, and you serve the Lord. And who knows what comes after, but uh, the Sabbath day, from what I understand, is the eternal rest day. So what the Jews do in Israel on the Sabbath day and elsewhere in the world is a picture of the seventh day that we're about to experience when we're translated. For the elect's sake, the time is made short. So the Jubilee goes on to 2048. The rapture takes place before that, before the wrath of God is poured out on an unbelieving, disobedient world. And the people who are caught away are caught up to the seventh heaven, unless he takes us to Israel, here on earth. But from what I understand, we go to the Father's house, to the wedding chamber, to celebrate the marriage supper of the Lamb. And then, while we're there, those who are left behind on the earth, the firstborn, are going to go through the tasting of death by fiery judgment. So, yeah, real nice thing to look forward to. But it's the wrath of God that's being poured out like the plagues on Egypt in order to bring them to Christ, to get them to bend their knees. Because you have a soldier in a foxhole. You think he's not going to be praying to God? Of course he is. And so sometimes it takes a tribulation to crush the hard kernels that won't come to faith, the hard nose. Red is the color of the blood that flowed, etc. There's a song, the color song. I can't remember all of it right now, but part of it is red is the color of the blood that flowed, and so, hey everyone. Oh, Angela. Hello. Didn't see you there until I just looked. Okay, guys. So Friday is preparation day. You get your meals ready for the Sabbath. There was this prophecy I heard from this Jewish guy who does the Bible codes, and he said that when you see Russia invade Ukraine, you should have your wedding garments on, like just be expectant any moment. So that happened. So it's probably a good idea to be ready at any moment for the catching away. I think at Passover, but that's not far off. And I've heard some recent videos about second Passover. Either way, this spectacular event, which is pictured in the two events of the past, Noah's Ark and the Exodus with Moses. Noah's Ark rose up above the trouble, and the Exodus, they miraculously moved out of Egypt to the Red Sea. They didn't walk it. They were translated. Uh, God is the master of space and time. And so he just took the bunch of people and then miraculously moved. Just like when they were on the Sea of Galilee in the storm and Jesus walking on the water, and as soon as Jesus got in the boat, miraculously all of a sudden they were on the other side. So God showing us in his word how he's the master of time and he's the master of space. So instantly he could be somewhere else. So instantly makes me wonder what this rapture is going to take us to. The rapture, to the Father's house where the wedding chamber is, which would be Hosanna in the highest, place where we all want to be. Or unless he takes us to Israel and anyway, to a place of safety. I forget why I brought that up, but there was something important I wanted to say. But anyway, Lord willing, will come back. So anyway, the Sabbath day, the feast days are also known as Sabbath days. So you have to understand that you keep his appointed feasts. It's times that he appointed that he would meet with us, that when God would meet with us. So it's very important to understand that concept. The Passover, the Lord said, do it in remembrance of him. You know, he said, if I go, I will come again, take you into myself. And he made the Passover meal that celebrated the wandering in the wilderness, or the coming out of Egypt, the Passover, the death of the firstborn, the children of Israel, the angel of death passed over them. So that's what's going to happen. I believe the Lord will come more likely at Passover, and everyone left behind are firstborn. They are going to taste the death because they're going to go through the tribulation. If you get left behind, you have to taste the death at some point. The Jubilee goes to 2048. So the blessed generation that shall not taste of death is the generation that sees all the signs happening at the same time coming to pass. You know, when they begin to come to pass, look up, for your redemption draweth nigh. Well, certainly we're seeing everything telling us we are that generation. And I encourage you to listen to some of my past videos. I might bring up something in a talk there that I might not hear on this video. Anyway, I hope you all like and share my videos to your social media and get me brownie points with YouTube by liking it. And who knows, maybe someday I'll have 1,000 subscribers. Just millions maybe, or billions. Wouldn't that be awesome? So Passover's coming, everyone. You want to start working on your house, taking everything out of the house that is got yeast in it. Leavening, it's a Passover that you clean out. It's like a spring cleaning. You clean your house out of all the yeast products, anything that has yeast in it, or leavening. Just sodium bicarbonate is leavening. So you would look on the ingredients of everything that exists in your pantry and kitchen and house, and if it has yeast, you put it in a box, in a bag. And once you've collected it all, you remove it from the premises, and you do a final cleaning through with a feather and dustpan, and you collect all the dust, and you're actually supposed to burn it. You burn that a little bit, and some people might sell their yeast products to Gentile, and then after Passover buy it back. But it's a good way to, like, after winter there's a spring cleaning, and if you start cleaning a little bit every day over 30 days, you've prepared for Passover. And when Passover comes, it's not a last minute thing to go through the whole house and whole kitchen and every cupboard and every inch of shelf for yeast. Uh, it's easier when it's cleaned out and ready to go. So start now, people. Start thinking about it now, because I guarantee you, you think about it for a while and never do it. But if you think about it and then actually just start to do little corner here, little corner here, little corner here, you'd be surprised how many boxes and bags you need, how many products have yeast in it. So out of the house, a little bit of effort. It's in the doing, right? So this is a Passover you really want to keep. And if God says to take it out of your house because He's coming, take it out of your house because He's coming, right? Do it. Make your say equal your do. It's not the people who that with their words are justified. It's with doing. Faith without works is dead. So you're a new creation. What does He ask you to do? Keep the 10 Commandments and the 613, and do the do's and do the don'ts. It's not so complicated. It's right there in the scriptures. So we can all do it. We can all do it together. Keep the Holy Passover that's coming in just a few days. April. So it's a little more than a month away, but a month goes by very quickly if you haven't noticed. As you get older, time flies. Yeah, it's true. Uh, and a watched pot never boils, right? So we're waiting for the Lord's coming, but He's never going to come. No, He is going to come. The Lord will come. The Lord will come, as His word said, and He will call us up. He will change our sinful flesh to glorified, forgiven, original state. That's and then who knows what comes after that, So we have a lot of uh, interesting things to look forward in the future. Being in a body that's not going to ever hurt or pain or cry or die or suffer again. And so that's going to be kind of like, you know, an amazing thing to happen. don't you think? Anyway, just kind of like didn't want to give a heavy thing today, talking about like all this other stuff I talk about in my past videos. Just looking forward in a few hours the starting of the Sabbath to rest. And, so blessed and holy day to everyone. Peace be unto you, for the kingdom of heaven has come near unto thee. I'm watching for the Lord. I hope you're watching. It's a blessing to be found watching, right?